Hey everyone, it's Dr. Donahue. How are you on this beautiful Monday? My heart is full, and I was thinking about each and every one of you as different things are being said around us. Are we going to end up in a lockdown again? What is this? What is this gonna look like? We're stepping into the fall and winter months where viruses and infections start to increase. And so my goal for you is to support you because I love you and I want you get to create your health. And so what was coming up for me as I was sitting here working and just talking to patients this morning is all about how sugar, the hidden perils of sugar, like where sugar hides and how we can become more aware of it. And it's so easy, I get it, for me to say, let's just stop eating sugar when we're getting that dopamine hit in our brain and our taste buds are craving sugar, or as we start to get tired, we get a sugar hit that'll get us through the day. I was speaking to a woman today who was drawing blood, and she said that in the afternoon, she actually has gotten in the habit of doing a Red Bull. Holy cow. And she has cardiovascular disease. I won't get into the relationship of that, but what I will say is Red Bull is full of sugar. It's not really safe. Like the cardiologists are even aware of that at this point, and I believe there's research being done. But why would we want to take that heavy dose of sugar and put it inside our bodies? So here we are, and I want to remind you that I am here with my heart to support and guide you on your lifestyle journey. So let's talk about, where is sugar hidden? Like sugar's ubiquity. It is everywhere. And when I say everywhere, it's in everything. I know I'm not the norm, but when I pull up and I look at ingredients and it has sugar, no, not for me. But I know that I am just obsessed with feeling my absolute best. So, sugar, it's not just in candies, it's not in cakes, it's not in sodas, which I want to talk about soda in a minute, but it is also hidden in your health food. So if you're working really hard to actually eat really good quality food, then think about, like, if you get a low fat yogurt, right? Or even a soy yogurt or an almond milk yogurt or a rice yogurt, and there's some sort of berries in it which are good, and you turn it around and you look at the sugar content, right? There's sugar in it. There is also sugar in granola. I'm not saying that honey is bad for you, because sometimes it's honey, but sometimes it's the amount that they put in there. So be aware of that. And it's even in salad dressings and ketchup. So I buy Primal Kitchen unsweetened ketchup, or I actually make my own. Right? People have gotten in such the habit of running to the store and grabbing like what they need for ingredients, when truly you could probably make it at home, right? So I want to talk about a little bit about why, like, I'm obsessed with sugar. If you're on live right now and you know that you have a sugar addiction, put sugar in the chat. Put sugar in the chat, because I want to know, like, the once we step up and we set our vision and we know what our goal is, and we're like, I know that's my challenge, then help starts to come in. God starts us to give the help of what's provided. Like when I read a book, I might read that book again a year later, but what I read the year before I didn't see, because I was ready to see it now. Right? It's the same way with health. That's why I show up and teach you. So, what is sugar's impact on the brain? So, like I was saying, sugar releases dopamine, which is your feel good neurotransmitter in the brain. And then that can lead to your cravings, your overconsumption, and even addiction. like many people don't realize they're addicted to sugar. And sugar addiction is a real phenomenon. And many of you hear me say, like, sugar is more addictive than cocaine and even other drugs. Like, there's so much testing that goes on in processed foods and labs and stuff to get you addicted to the food. Did you know that? Did you realize that? That's actually what happens. So, when you eat sugar, you get this blood glucose, this blood sugar spike. Your pancreas releases insulin with a high sugar consumption, and it keeps spiking. And after a while, it leads to insulin resistance. And you're like, Dr. Donahue, what's insulin resistance? It's over time, your body has so much sugar in it that your insulin, your cells are like, I don't need any more sugar. I don't need any more sugar. You end up with low blood sugar, and then over time you get high blood sugar, and insulin resistance paves its way to type 2 diabetes. Remember, not type 1, that's an autoimmune condition. That's a different setup. I'm talking lifestyle changes that have happened for type 2 diabetes to come about, right? So my goal is if you you begin to remove or decrease your blood sugar in your diet, your immune system and your body will become healthier, right? How many of you like go throughout the day and all of a sudden around 2 to 3 o'clock, you have like what that nurse had today. You have a fall off in energy. Type the word low energy, so that I know that you're having a falling off. So that could be your adrenals, but then your adrenals are related to sugar as well, because what happens is your body thinks it's in a fight or flight response. So secondly, I want to talk about the toxicity connection. So in your gut, if you dump all this sugar into your gut, you start to compromise your gut health by feeding your gut harmful bacteria, which leads to what we call in the medical world dysbiosis. And that means an imbalance of your gut flora. When you get too much sugar into your gut, like so many patients I'm dealing with, like, are you dealing with bloating? Put bloating in the chat. Like, bloating is often you feeding harmful bacteria to your gut, and then you feel bloated. Like, I got a message from one of my patients today saying she had ice cream last night and she got bloated. We're trying to figure out where her bloating is coming from. So lactose and then the sugar from the ice cream and the milk, that's sugar. So she got bloated. So you can even get like your gut can become irritable, like irritable bowel syndrome. And remember, you've heard me talk about the gut brain connection. And if you haven't, really briefly, is your gut is your second brain and communicates to your brain. And so you can even end up with anxiety and depression and highs and lows from sugar consumption. Pretty scary, right? When we know we can actually change it, we can change how your health is proceeding by looking at reversing your sugar cravings and removing them. Toxicity. So sugar can have an overabundance on the liver, and that can lead to fatty liver disease. When your liver becomes fatty, it struggles to actually remove toxicity, detoxify the body, and that can lead to a buildup of toxins in the immune system. And if we relate that back to gut health, right? If you're not having a bowel movement and removing the toxins from the body, then it can putrefy and build up in the gut as well. So the toxicity connection is real with the gut and the liver. And the other thing that happens is in the gut, this is all going to make sense. The gut is your largest immune system. So when you're dosing your body with larger amounts of sugar than your body actually knows what to do with, it can suppress the immune system for hours after consuming it. So if we're worried about stepping into the holidays, or we're bloated, or we're anxious, or we're hearing all these like a possible lockdown again. In order for you to get through this, it's to strengthen your immune system. And you can strengthen your immune system many ways, but one of the ways, lifestyle, is to actually consume less sugar, because an increase in sugar makes the body more susceptible to illnesses and infections, right? Drop infection or virus in the chat if you're struggling with one of these. Like, whenever I work with a patient, the first thing I want to do is decrease inflammation in the body, because inflammation continues to go on. It's really hard to get the body healed and get the metabolism in a better state. The other thing that helps support the sugar you eat is if you're working out and you have large amounts of muscle. I don't mean massive amounts, but muscle, because muscle needs glucose, which is sugar, to be uptaken in its cells in order to function. So, my last piece that I want to talk about is the inflammation connection. Like, sugar is a catalyst for inflammation and dis-ease. So, as you begin to eat sugar, more and more sugar in the body, especially fructose, this can lead to increased gut permeability, which allows toxins to actually, like your little gap junctions in your gut, begin to open, and it allows toxins to actually enter the bloodstream and cause systemic inflammation. And I will tell you, like I was mentioning, until I heal inflammation in a patient's body, it's very challenging to heal chronic diseases. So, inflammation is the root cause of numerous chronic diseases, include arthritis, cardiovascular disease, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. Itis on the end of arthritis is inflammation of the joint. Gastritis is inflammation of the stomach, right? Diverticulitis is inflammation of the diverticulum in the gut. So we're always looking to decrease inflammation in the gut. Who is not game for this? Like, you're like, Dr. Donahue, all I have to do is reduce sugar intake, and that will reduce inflammation in my body. And the answer is yes. I mean, there might be more folded to it, but that's one way of really getting your bloat down and feeling better. So, over long periods of time from regular high sugar consumption, I want to hit home and stress that this is the precursor. Sugar is not your friend, it's your enemy. It's a precursor to several chronic diseases like heart diseases, cancer, neurodegenerative diseases, nerve diseases. So you get to start healing the process. Actionable steps. Are you reading food labels okay? Do you need support around that? Are you opting for whole, unprocessed foods that God put on this earth, and cooking at home and having fun preparing meals? Like, maybe when my grandmother or my next door neighbor, who is almost like family, would cook meals or healthy cookies, it was like all the love went into that, and all the energy goes into that for you, instead of like grabbing processed foods, grabbing things on the run. But you can gradually reduce your sugar and start to decrease inflammation. You can stay hydrated. You can eat more fiber, make sure your bowels are working, 2 bowel movements a day. And lastly, guess what I'm doing? I am doing a sugar detox program that I would love all of you to join. So keep your eyes peeled for it, because I am going live. Because the truth is I want to show you how you can remove sugar from your body and how you can start to decrease that. Raise your hand and say me if you're ready to reduce sugar in your diet. Get your body prepared for the holidays so you get to live in a body you love, You get to have peace and you're joyful to show up to those holiday parties, and you have tools and techniques and strategies at your fingertips to make that happen. Remember, I am here to support you and motivate you because I was once you. I was once addicted to sugar and I had no idea what to do. Remember, I was depressed. I was eating too much sugar. I had challenges with my menses, right? So keep your eyes peeled because I'm going to do a 2-day live summit with a 5-day challenge all around fall sugar detox. And my goal is for you to stop running your health with your sweets. Like, let's get you in check before the holidays. And if you are feeling like you need support between now and then, and you're like, Dr. Donahue, I am 100% ready to jump in right now, and I want support, and I know that that's something that could like help me long term starting right now, join pocketdoc.com, where you will have me in your pocket for accountability, and I will show up with you live once a month to support you. It will be the best money you spend, because the truth is if you take and you go get coffee every single day, or you go and grab a dessert, or I don't know, you go out to eat and you're not eating healthy foods, add up all that money. So say you're spending $7 a day in coffees, and 7 times, say you're doing it 5 to 6 days a week, say 5 days a week. That's $35 a week. That's $340 a month if I did the math right. This program is $247 a month, where I will walk you through healing your body. Who doesn't want that? Love you. I'm here to support you. And don't forget to show up for the summit, September 21st and September 22nd. As soon as I have a link, I will drop it in. You're all beautiful souls. You all get to feel your best. And I am here to help you hack your health.